Good morning and welcome to the Athletic NBA Daily, Casual Friday edition for July 11th, 2025. And guys, you're in Vegas. Well, at least Dave and our guest Christian Clark, who covers the Mavericks, is. You'll be headed there tomorrow. I
Soon,
will be holding
TBD.
down the fort outside of Vegas, outside of the heat. But Dave, I'm going to start with you because you've been there now 2 days. You're now the
Too
veteran.
long.
Too long, 2 days too long. I heard yesterday from you that it was a little dead out in Vegas. Heard you spiced it up a little bit, changed the locales.
Yeah, so I came in a little early, and I like to stay at a different hotel off the strip. I don't like the strip. It's not for me. It's too loud, it's too busy, it's too congested. And the restaurants, I mean, they're fine on the strip, but I like to be off strip. And so I had a nice little pool morning, and I was like going to meet up with everyone, and then I had a credential issue. And so I wound up watching Summer League on TV. So I just decided I went to a second pool. I went to two different pools.
Wow.
I've never done this in my entire life. I'm jealous of my friends that come to Vegas and they're like, they have free time to do something. So I sat and read a book.
Wow.
Amazing day for me. Read a lot of a book, sat by two pools. And then I watched Summer League. Christian was in the building though. And I don't know. How was it? Was it better at the pool for me, or was it better in the gym for you?
Well, Dave, that was a great zag. I like to stay off strip, and I read a book in Vegas. That was a good way to start this. It was good, man. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I felt like the building wanted to be crazy, and I just don't think the Mavericks and Coop made enough shots for the lid to blow off there. I feel like the fans wanted the lid to blow off, and it got there a little bit in the second quarter when it was Coop and Baraheni a little bit. But it was still a fun night. It was still fun to see Coop play live.
There was that one part.
I just want to quickly, mention the part of the shooting, right? So Cooper Flagg last night ended up 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 21 on shooting, 0 of 5 from 3, 0 of 1 for free throws. Now, it is worth saying that Victor Wembanyama, number 1 pick last year, also had a bad first game in Summer League. But it seemed like there was all of the other elements of his game visible in terms of his basketball IQ, his motor, his vision, etc. I don't know if you were about to allude to that, but that feels like the takeaway for me.
Yeah, he looked big out there.
Yeah.
Ginormous. He just looked massive, and I think that was the main takeaway immediately, was just how massive he looked compared to basically everybody else on the court.
Although I have to say, we got to ditch this t-shirt. It's got to go.
True. You're right. Yeah.
Because I how many good, I had this conversation with some folks, and this is so funny, but
Ace Bailey also t-shirt wear.
Yeah. What's going on with the t-shirts? When's the last great basketball player that wore a t-shirt?
That's a good
very
question.
Collegiate.
Never.
It's very collegiate.
Show Norm Powell some respect, man.
I will say
True,
this.
Norm Powell. Yeah, Norm Powell. Yeah.
What I liked about Coop, look, taking 21 shots is awesome. That's a great sign, right? That's no fear. This is obviously the brightest spotlight that he's ever had in his life, maybe at this point, which is funny to say because we've been watching this kid since he was 13. But it was maybe one of the worst games he's ever played, if you asked him. But I thought and Christian, back me up here, man. 21 shots in your Summer League debut. That's literally what you're there to do, right? VJ Edgecombe, how many did he take the other day? 27 or something? This is your job.
I didn't look at 5 of 21 and I was concerned or anything like that.
No,
it wasn't like that at all. I mean, it wasn't just Coop whose 3-point shot wasn't falling. I mean, it was everybody. And, I think that kind of contributed to things just being scrunched overall. I think he made the right play. I think he's a pretty good passer. I thought his handle looked good against a lot of that pressure. I mean, the very first, so Jason Kidd has talked about for weeks, hey, look, we're gonna give the ball to Cooper a lot this season.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna put the ball in his hands. I'm going into this game okay, how true is that going to be? And it ended up being very true. Literally the first play, they made a point, let's get the ball to Cooper, and the Lakers double teamed him. And it was a lot of that. It was a lot of heavy pressure. I thought he handled it pretty well. I mean, as to your point about his size, he is huge.
Yeah, he's a massive guy. Yeah.
When you talk about his position, I mean, look, I don't know. I guess positions are fluid. He can handle the ball. He's going to bring it up. But to me, I look at him and I'm like, I think he's a 4. I think he can do a lot of different things, but he's that big to me, and I'm like, I think he's a 4.
Yeah, he's like a point forward. Like you can envision a point forward type of player with him. I mean, he is so big.
Aaron Gordon comes to mind.
Aaron Gordon comes to mind. I think to a lesser extent, we saw it with the Portland Trailblazers with Denny Avdia. Now, obviously, Cooper has a higher ceiling than what Denny can do, but generally, like big jumbo forwards who can make plays, who can handle the ball. And by the way,
if he winds up being able to shoot it,
yeah, totally.
That's a guy.
Then he's a pick and roll operator. Then he can do that. I will also say, like, where his size really showed up was defensively. Like the way his wingspan was able to carve up blocks and steals, deflections, getting out in transition. There was this one sequence where obviously I thought
the big dunk,
where he got the big dunk and then came back the other way, got the steal, and then had that like baseline fadeaway jump shot. That was when the crowd felt like it really popped for a little bit there. But yeah, he's just so big, and I think that was the biggest takeaway here. You can't take too much from the stats of Summer League, just how a guy looks physically, and I thought physically he looked incredible.
Well, that's the thing about Summer League, right? Like there are guys out there that stand out physically, and then there are guys that look like maybe they needed another year or two of college, right? And Coop looks like, I mean, he's NBA body ready, right? Like he is ready to go day one, not going to get shoved around. And I mean, honestly, like just thinking about his age and how young he is and what he's going to look like in like 3 years. Physically, this guy, when he gets in an NBA weight room, which hopefully the Mavs have, solved their conditioning issues there in the coaching staff. But in 3 years from now, I mean, this guy is going to be a physical monster if the skills develop alongside. I just don't know. Now I'm starting to sound like Sam Vecini, who has me so pumped about Cooper Flagg, right? Like, but I can see the vision, when you see him on the court with other guys.
Christian, what excites you most when you watch that game of just how Cooper's able to get the ball off the rim and go? I'm immediately imagining, because Anthony Davis is also point forward. He also can lead the break. And I'm just thinking about this team that already has, a lively gaffer that run the floor so well. And then you have these bigs that you could play alongside each other, opposite each other. I just feel like this is all of a sudden going to be this like Monstars running team in Dallas. What were you looking at and kind of envisioning for Dallas next season?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that. I was literally about to say, like, I think he's going to be an absolute monster in transition. I mean, he's so intense, attacking the rim, like loves contact, a good athlete. I mean, I think he's going to be awesome in the open floor, and they should get to that as much as they can. I mean, to your point, like definitely a grab and go guy. Like I think they're going to be wanting him to do that as much as possible. And the Monstars thing is funny and true and accurate. Like that's totally what they're going for. It's like Anthony Davis playing the 4, Lively or Gafford at the 5, Coop and PJ Washington. I mean, there's a world where they're starting D'Angelo Russell, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively II.
That's insane.
There's a world in which the Dallas Mavericks hold their opponents to 65 points and score 60.
Like, think how big that lineup is. We're talking about offense right now. We're talking about grab and go. I'm just thinking about if I get the ball from the baseline and I turn around and that's the defense set up in front of me.
Yep.
Like with PJ Washington on a wing and Cooper Flagg on the opposite. Like, this is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm more excited about the offense for them or the defense.
No, it has to be the defense in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, they should be a good defense anyway. I mean, they were pretty good when AD was healthy last year. And then it depends on D'Angelo Russell, right? Like holding up and not being a complete turnstile. But the truth is, when you have AD behind you, this is the stuff that gets lost in Anthony Davis. What he did on the Lakers defensively, right? Like this floor raiser, where he was able to clean up mistakes for some of these weaker guys in front. And again, LeBron last season was incredible. And so now you're going to pair Anthony Davis, who is the defensive player of the year level guy, with Lively, Gafford, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, guys that we know are big and physical and can guard. I think Dallas, if everyone stays healthy, is going to have like a top 7 defense, probably.
Oh, very easily will.
And if you're that good defensively, you win a bunch of games. They obviously have guys who are going to be able to score. Coop, we'll find out, right? Like if he can actually score in the NBA. But AD can give you 25. D'Lo can give you 18 and 8. I think that they're going to be okay offensively, but I do worry about the spacing on that end. But defensively, man, it's going to be a nightmare. The league has gotten so big. And somehow Dallas like drafted a rookie who's ready to play, and they got even bigger. They were already big. It's pretty
Speaking
wild.
of all these giants, I thought the best player on the Mavs floor was actually 5'10", maybe on a good day, 5'11".
Just get the Canadian flag out, please.
He cooked. Man. Listen.
The Canadian propaganda segment has begun.
Here we go, guys.
All right, man. Look, I know the Mavs have been trying to find solutions at the point guard spot. Obviously, they were higher on Brandon Williams last year, who was impressive for them. I know D'Angelo Russell and Dante Exum are now on the team, but now Ryan Nembhard. How does he factor into everything? Because he had a great first game in Summer League.
Yeah, that felt like kind of a big get on, undrafted two-way slot on draft night for Dallas. It's like, okay, like this, immediately I was like, okay, I think Ryan Nembhard at least has a chance of giving you 10 minutes in December or January when, Dante Exum isn't playing or something like that. Yeah. I mean, I love players like Ryan Nembhard. I know the league is kind of going away from smaller guards, but I love just the basketball IQ couldn't be higher. Obviously led the nation in assists last year. I mean, never makes the wrong play. Crafty, really good, screen navigator, even though he is tiny. Yeah. I mean, one of the things he talked about, he's like, we know what he can do offensively. He's always going to make the right play. He's got the nice mid-range game, but he's like, I want to be Jose Alvarado defensively. I want to just bother people.
That's a tall task, honestly, at that size too.
Well,
right?
Not that tall.
I was just going to say, not that tall. You just got to hide on the baseline and then cut in right as the pass is coming.
Listen, 5'11". Honestly, Ryan Nembhard, just get it like a ref shirt and just kind of throw it on and stand in the corner for a minute and see if you can.
That's awesome.
They're defensively, again, having a guy like that this is a rookie coming off the bench, maybe, right? Yeah. Who he's not gonna be a turnstile. That's huge. That's the most important thing, right? Can he come out and be beyond passable on defense?
Yeah.
Navigating I don't know. Screens. I feel like this is a great situation for maybe folks like Klay Thompson. That's like, hey, maybe I don't have to be so locked in on the defensive end because I've got this kind of security blanket in the size around me. I could focus on shooting. I could focus on that aspect. But yes, Ryan Nembhard absolutely can contribute from a defensive perspective. But when you think about some of these players that might have been turnstiles or could be turnstiles, it is really nice to know that could be, your back line of defense. And that's I'm not even talking about the first unit. I'm talking you still got Gafford and size behind you coming in with the second unit.
Defense wins championships, guys.
It's true.
And fortune favors the bold.
Fortune favors them.
I like it.
Listen, I see the vision is all I'm saying, guys.
Hey, is Nico Harrison just in Vegas right now, with the biggest smile? Is that the situation?
I didn't see him last night, and it was a real who's who of Mavericks people last night. Patrick Dumont, the governor, was there with his son, who had a Flagg 32 jersey on. It was funny to see, Patrick Dumont walk around his son behind him wearing the Flagg jersey. Cuban was there. Cuban was doing interviews. I love that Cuban is just a minority owner now, and he's still
back,
he's still just holding court and everything. I really do love it. J Kidd was there. I mean, man, there was a ton of Mavs people, but yeah, I did not see Nico Harrison in the building last night.
Damn, would have been great. I think it would have been a nice, victory lap to take.
Yeah,
hey, the camera would have found him so many times. I think after that whole thing, when AD went down. And that meme
they kept
kind of
flashing
pops.
Back to
I honestly I feel like Nico is just you know what? Let me not sit in the stands. The camera's really gonna have to work to find him. I just look, not to rehash the Luka trade because we've done that enough. But if you look at where they are right now, it's not they didn't take that big of a step back for who they gave up, right? They've lucked into this, right?
Well, they had to luck into that. Yeah,
they lucked into it. But at this point, you can say, "Wow, we somehow we got through losing Luka Doncic."
Yeah, you dodged
and
the guillotine.
We're okay because from a talent perspective, they still got Anthony Davis, and then you wind up with Cooper Flagg.
Well, Dave, I mean,
no way.
Say
I know
it wasn't luck; it was done on purpose.
It's just
I like
that conspiracy because look, I appreciate that everyone wants everything to have been done right, as in this was done on purpose. Luka getting traded to the Lakers is all part of some behind the scenes deep state operation to boost the Lakers, right? This is fantastic drama if it happened that way.
Yeah.
But
well, it's pretty simple, Dave. You trade your best player Lakers, and you get the #1 pick. Pelicans, the Mavericks.
It happens all the time.
It's not hard to figure out.
It's really beautiful the way it worked out that way. Oh man, it's
and then Joe Dumars goes and takes over the Pelicans. Very interesting. No, I don't know. I'm trying to tie all these. It's like jet fuel melts steel beams, right? Like
I'm just immediately thinking of
tie
that.
it all together.
The map with all the red strings. What's the guy from?
It's always sunny.
It's always sunny.
Always sunny in Philadelphia. Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, Christian, I'm asking now. You watched one game. It's just been one game, but you're envisioning what Cooper Flagg looks like within this team. We've had this whole summer of like trying to figure out what Dallas is going to do, or not even a summer, a whole season of what is Dallas going to be like without Luka. We've now seen Cooper Flagg. What are the holes for Dallas? Because when we look at our tier ranking that we did the other day, I don't know where we ended up putting Dallas, but they definitely weren't in like the finals contender situation. So there's clearly some gaps, but for you, as you're looking at this team and also the conversations you're having with the team, what are some of the gaps that they're looking to fill going into this next season?
Yeah, they're a fascinating team. Like some of the over-unders have started to come out, and I've been surprised at how low they've been on the Mavericks. Like I saw 38.5 wins for the Mavs season.
Wow.
Total.
Whoa.
I guess that's maybe like a injured AD type of season, maybe baking in that stuff.
Yeah. But like when I look at them, I mean, injuries, obviously, like Kyrie, we don't know when he's going to be back. I'm just going to leave it at that because there's already been so much stuff. Like that's all I can say right now. We don't know when he's going to be back. AD always misses, 20 games. It looks, typically in a season. When I look at just this roster, minus Kyrie, I do have like offensive concerns. Like they were last in the NBA by a mile in like the 9 games AD played in last year. How is that offense going to look when it's heavy 80 at the 4 with one of Gafford or Lively? That's something, I don't know the answer to. And then defensively, I do think they're going to be good. But like when I compare them to Oklahoma City, like they don't have the caliber of perimeter defenders that Oklahoma City has. Like Oklahoma City has the great backline stuff with Hartenstein and Chet to clean up your mistakes. But like, I mean, we know they have like the best perimeter defenders too. I mean, they got Dort, they got Caruso, they got Case and Wallace. Like the Mavs don't have that. Like they might start D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson. Caleb Martin, I mean, he might be their best point of attack defenders coming off the bench. Flagg, he can guard on the ball. But he's big, he's 6'9". Like that's just asking him a lot to guard like lead guards.
Yeah. Guys, what are you guys looking at and concerned about for Dallas for next year?
I think that I think Christian kind of nailed it there. Guard and wing depth, they just have none. I worried for this team that they're going to have to give up some guys in some trades to kind of round out this roster. Like Gafford is probably on the chopping block. If you're Dallas, you're probably, that's the most movable guy that you can replace in your rotation and really get maybe a good high level wing. Daniel Gafford might get that for you. But
the other thing is like PJ Washington is extension eligible and has that 1 year left on his contract from what I remember. And so like, what does that mean for the deadline for them? Maybe that's the way they go out and address a guard. I've always toyed around with the idea of PJ Washington going to the Celtics and the Celtics kind of giving some assets back to Dallas. Maybe it's like Anthony Simons. Hey, how you doing?
Now that's a guy who kind of fits, right? Comes off the bench, can score. I mean, similar to D'Angelo, right? He's going to be this defensive liability that can never guard anyone. Yeah. But maybe that's enough to get you through this year, right? Like, because that's all it really is. Like, this isn't a team, and Christian, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't think they're going to win a title this year. This is not a team that's fully constructed even, right?
Like, I'm curious about that, actually. Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I mean, look, I think when you just look at Kyrie missing the vast majority of the season, it's just the answer is no. But I do feel like they're in a position where their messaging has to be, we can win a title, because they lost in the finals and they said that's not good enough. So like they're in a tough position organizationally because they signaled to their fan base, we lost in the finals and that wasn't good enough. That was why we traded Luka.
They could have won the title last year. I will stand by this.
Yeah, I agree.
That they could have won the title last year, even after the Luka trade. They could have won the title. I think they had a better chance before the Luka trade, right? Like with Luka out there, you're just better off in all these playoff matchups.
Yeah.
But if Kyrie doesn't go down, that's a team that does damage to someone in the playoffs.
It would have been very interesting to see OKC versus Dallas fully healthy in the playoffs last year. That would. So
I get it, but no Kyrie it's tough, right? Like, what are you going to do? I just don't think you can replace Kyrie. There's not 3 guys that you can come up with that you can get on this roster that replace Kyrie and what he does. So that's really like what's going to hold him back this year. Kyrie, let's say best case scenario, let's say he comes back in time for the playoffs. Like, he's not going to look like Kyrie, as we already know, because we've seen this over and over and over again. Guys come back from the knee surgery. It's 18 months. It's not a year.
Yeah.
So
to get that, to trust your body again, that's a whole aspect of being injured, especially a big injury like that. I will say, I think the other aspect to this is just how stacked the West is. I mean, thinking of the competition, right? They're going to be playing those guys consistently. You're playing OKC 4 times a year. You're playing Minnesota 4 times a year, Denver, Houston. I think that, given the injury concerns of AD and given Kyrie being hurt, might be a tough road for Dallas. Like, defense is going to win you games. That's been the point for in the regular season always. Maybe that just gets you to February, March, to where maybe Kyrie comes back at that point. But 38, what was it? 38.5 you said for the win total, right?
Yeah, that was the one I saw.
I feel like that's a little low. I feel like that's low.
Really low. Not giving him 40 is crazy.
You guys wait, okay. So let me ask you guys. Is this a play-in team? Is that where you see them?
I could see them being playing team. I mean,
that's what I want to figure out. We got to ask Andrew, where do we tier them? I think we put them in the top of the play-in.
Top of the play-in could crack the top 6 in a healthy year type of thing. I think that's where we had them. But also, it's just, I think we're dead set on the top 4, which is OKC, Houston, Denver, and Minnesota, I guess, if you want to throw Minnesota in there. And then from there, it's this sort of grouping of teams that, if their season goes right, cool, they can pop off in a major way. But they're probably playing, right? Christian, what do you think?
Where do you see them?
I feel like there's a lot of different ways it could go. Like, I feel like they've got a wide range of outcomes. I mean, look, I do think they can finish top 6 just because it is a very impressive collection of talent. I mean, there's just a lot of good vets plus Flagg, who I think is going to be, pretty good right away. But I think the most likely scenario is a play-in team again, which if that's the case, this is my 5th straight year of doing the play-in, baby. I'm a play-in tournament veteran.
Oh yeah, between the Pels and
yeah. You're like the opposite of a lucky rabbit's foot, but not an unlucky one. It's like you're somewhere in the middle. Although they did win the lottery,
dude.
You're on your watch, Christian.
That's true. That's true. Dude, you're like Jonas Valanciunas when it comes to the play-in. He's been there. Yep. Who's been in the play-in more? You or Jonas Valanciunas?
Oh, I've covered Jonas Valanciunas a lot in the play-in too.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys have another red string just tied between the two of you. All right, closing this out. Summer League is underway, obviously starting last night, but you guys are there in person. I just want to get, before we head out, what are you guys looking for this weekend? Looking forward to, at least. Christian, I'll start with you.
I mean, it's got to be Flagg versus Harper, right? I mean, 1 versus 2. I'm super high on Harper. I mean, I just think he's smooth. He's smart. The Spurs, they didn't even need Harper to beat the crap out of the 76ers the other night. But that's it for me.
Okay. Dave?
I mean, listen, same. I'm here to see these guys face off against each other, especially the bigger names. Like, I actually thought the Bronny and Cooper Flagg was kind of an interesting dynamic. And
Bronny was good.
At some point, we're going to talk about Bronny James and how much he improved last year, and how this has flown under the radar because we all kind of treat him like a meme. But that guy, he looks more athletic this summer.
He's so
clearly
fast.
Like
he's starting to look like an NBA player, man.
Right.
So
clearly a year removed from, or a couple now years removed from the heart issue that he had in college, which I forget about, like all the time. Like, just I'm human too. But man, he looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing more Bronny James because he's stood out to me athletically early on in Summer League, in the other games too. So yeah, those guys in particular, I'm here to see.
I'm looking forward to, because I'm not there yet. So when I'm there, I'm really excited to watch games in the Cox Pavilion. So there's the Thomas and Mack Center, which is the big arena, usual vibe of an NBA arena. You get the same vibe. Cox Pavilion, it feels like you're at a high school tournament.
Small gym.
Tight. And, there's tons of scouts and front office execs and all that stuff flying around, but it just feels like you're like locked into this game, and it could be Thunder versus Nets, and it's Thomas Sorber and Danny Wolf, and you're like, cool, it's okay, I'm locked in, and we're 5,000 or less than 5,000.
I watched Thon Maker commit 10 fouls in that gym.
Sure. Yeah.
Legendary performance.
I love
legendary performance. 10 fouls in a
Where were
league
you
game.
when
That's right. It was incredible.
Thank you, Az, for bringing up the lore of Cox Pavilion, because it's a different vibe. Literally, great point. It does feel like an AAU tournament.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it is. It's just whoever's on the stage, you're cheering them on, and it's just, you really do lock in just because of how the proximity to the game, of how it feels. And I also love that it's like right there. You just kind of, you can leave Thomas Mack and you walk over, and it's a completely different vibe.
It's beautiful. I love it.
By the way, I have one note from yesterday. And something that I may keep bringing this up during the season, but something I want everyone to pay attention to. All of the Spurs were at the game yesterday.
Oh, wow.
All were at the game. De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, they were all sitting there at the game.
Wow.
I want to put a pin in that.
What is that? Does that matter to you? Is that important to you?
It does matter to me.
Actually, I agree with you, Dave.
No, I'm indifferent. I have no idea. Like, give me
this is a hey, you know what, guys, you're with us already, and that means that they're likely like having meetings together. Like this is like a Mike Weisberg, by the way, shout out to Mike in the comments, who always has good comments.
That was what I was going to say.
Real Oklahoma City Thunder vibes. I mean, again, OKC is trying to be Spurs slightly north. Right. This is the Spurs blueprint, but it stood out to me that every player was at that game yesterday. I think that
area of the country right now, a lot of good hoops, between Dallas, Texas, obviously Houston.
If Memphis would, OKC. If they could get it together, then
add New Orleans to that.
Man,
you
had to go there.
I'm sorry. Thank you for mentioning that, because I did notice that, and I do think it gives you this indication that, one, we care about next year. We care about how you're going to do next year, and don't be afraid of us. Right? We're not enemy. We want to be a part.
I have inside knowledge. Team meal was at Komodo at the Fontainebleau, which is a great restaurant if anybody comes out to Vegas. So that was inside info.
I like it.
Breaking news here, folks.
Yeah, breaking news.
Look at us.
Get your women, Yama.
Don't go to Komodo tomorrow night. They're not there, folks. They were there the other night. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I am most looking forward to matchups for sure, but I think I'm most looking forward to our first NBA Daily Summer League content. True. I'm very curious what these interviews are going to look like, who's going to stop by the set. I'm sure all of you that are listening right now are also curious, and that's why you need to subscribe. Make sure you don't miss out on any of it. You need to make sure you're following. You need to make sure you send it to everyone you know and love so that they also feel like a cool kid and can be a part of this, okay? But appreciate you guys joining us on Casual Friday. Christian Clark, thank you for making the time. Enjoy the rest of Summer League. Dave DuFour, thank you for finding we're your third pool for today, for the weekend so far. Thank you for making time, and safe travels on the way to Summer League.
You.
And again, thank you all for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy Summer League. Talk soon.